Hey guys, welcome back to the doremicom channel. I have some huge Infinity news. I got my hands on the Infinity Quick Start rules. This is new from Corvus Belli. It goes into everything you need to know to play the game based on the model selection that they have provided for you at the back of the book. For each one of the factions, there is pages to say, just start with these 4 models. I think they did an excellent job selecting the units. The artwork in here is much like how fantastic the artwork is in their main core rule books. And they're going to be giving these away for free at conventions that they start attending. I cannot tell you, the rules here are very, very well laid out. Again, the artwork is just phenomenal. But there's something exciting. I got my hands on an early release of this, and the really cool thing, here's some exclusive content for you Infinity players. It includes information on the new faction Tohaa. So we got some stats to show you, and don't stress that you might not have been able to see it right away. We will get better images so you can see what's going on. Now, remember that these are quick start rules, so they don't have information on stuff like viral weaponry. So some of the information won't be complete on the Tohaa that we'll be releasing, but the stat line is correct. I've verified this, and so for 3 of the Tohaa units, you're going to be able to take a look at their individual stat lines and get a sense of how the Tohaa are going to be playing when the new book Campaign Paradiso comes out. And at the conclusion of this video, we're going to be breaking open this Tohaa Starter Box and take a look at what the models look like, a little up close and personal. So if you want to jump to a section of the video that talks more about the stat line or the actual models, feel free to click in the annotations that I've included over both of these things, and it'll jump right to the part you're interested in. If not, just hang tight, and we're going to go through all of this in this video. Okay, so again, this is hot off the presses from Corvus Belli. They just created this Infinity Quick Starter rules printout. It, again, has amazing artwork, how the board should be laid out, deployment areas, orders, how to deal with automatic reaction orders. You'll notice that the list of orders that they suggest, especially for a intro game, is much more condensed than how many different types of things you can do for your long and short skills in the actual standard rulebook. The table in the standard rulebook probably has 3 to 4 times each one of these types of skills. But I think it does a good job of introducing the game. They talk about the different types of roles, how the game sequence commences, dealing with responding to multiple AROs, the face-to-face role examples. So about 2/3 of the way through the book, I think there's about 30 pages here. So starting on page effectively 21, you start going to each one of the factions, and they give you kind of a list of units suggested units to take. And again, they don't have every single stat here for the faction, but it's broken down in such a way so that people can play the game and treat these units as introductory units. So you have a Panosiana, Yujing, Ariadna, and again, they really make it a point to kind of focus on using 4 models, which I think is, again, a really good way to introduce the game. It gives you a little bit of information too about each one of the factions before they start talking about what units to take. And we got to the Tohaa. Before we go through here, and if you clicked on the link, you go straight to the stats, but before we go here, I wanted to make sure that you guys saw this, because I think this is really nice artwork too. They went ahead and laid out all the types of weapons that they included in the starter army selection, and again, tokens for the game, as well as a smoke template. And for instance, they didn't include any of the template weapons like flamethrowers or chain rifles, so just having this one circular smoke template is sufficient to get the game started. So we're going to dive into the Tohaa right now. So these are the 4 units they suggest. It appears that there's 2 Camille's, a Calypsos, and an Ektros that they're suggesting, and their stat lines. I'm reading all the information from here, so you guys, I know you guys got the information. I've zoomed in as best as I can without it going blurry. So here is the stat line on the 3 different types of units in the Tohaa. I'm excluding the second Camille because they're identical. And with using this and with using the actual box, I can let you know more specific information. So for instance, the Camille has a movement 4-4, close combat 13, BS 11, PH 11, willpower 13, arm 1, wound 1. You'll notice there's no BTS rating on here, but that's because it's quick start rules, and they did not include viral weaponry, so, or any kind of hacking or anything, so it'd be safe to assume that if you didn't need the stat, there's no point of putting it in there and confusing people. I think it was a wise choice on their decision. Loaded out with a combi rifle, pistol, and knife. Now the Tohaa, everything that has been released about the Tohaa has talked about their propensity for utilizing viral weaponry, but in the Tohaa Trident Starter Pack, all the Camilles are actually spec'd out with combi rifles. The Calypsos has, which is their kind of TO camouflaged infiltrator, is spec'd out with movement 4-4, close combat 13, BS 11, PH 12, willpower 13, arm 0, and 1 wound. Now, they have the information that the Calypsos has a sniper rifle, pistol, and knife, but again, if we take a look at the Trident Starter Pack, in the Starter Pack, the Calypsos is actually spec'd out with a combi rifle, so again, I'm not sure whether or not we're going to see an option to take viral weaponry with this particular unit. So if we look at the last model that's identified in the quick start guide for the Tohaa, it's the Ektros with a movement 4-4, close combat 17, ballistic skill 13, PH of 14, willpower 13, arm 3, and has 2 wounds. Now, he's identified as a potential lieutenant model, evidently, with a combi rifle, pistol, and close combat weapon. But if we take a look at the starter box, the Ektros is identified as coming with a viral combi rifle. So clearly the Ektros models will have at least one option for viral, but I'm gonna guess, and this is total speculation at this point, that there might be many different options for the Ektros with viral weaponry. For those of you who've seen an earlier unboxing assembly video, this will come as no surprise of how I'm laying this stuff out, but in the Tohaa Trident Starter Pack, you end up having 4 tabs that are markers. You get 2 wound markers, one that's 1 and one that's 2, a prone marker, and a TO camouflage marker. Each one of the models in the Trident Starter Pack actually come bagged, and they are multi-part models. So there will be a little bit of assembly for these guys, and we're going to zoom in on the actual models outside of the bag so you can see it without any kind of reflection from the lights around here. But I wanted you guys to know right away that when you open up the box, this is how it's laid out. Each one of the models are in their own individual bag, and the bases are still in the box. So from the box, we're going to start with this Camille right here. So here's the core body. Both the arms need to be attached to the model. Here are the individual arms that come with that model. Calypsos next. This is the TO camouflage infiltrator. Her body is actually in 2 separate parts, but they've actually modeled a rock that her leg is kind of bounding off of, which is a nice touch. So the model comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 different pieces. So there is some assembly to this one. The next model we're going to look at is the Ektros. Body, head gets attached, leg, and 2 arm pieces to assemble. A very cool model. This is the last one that we have the stat line on. It's very clear why they would make, just by the level of detail, it's very clear when you're looking at this model why this model would potentially be your lieutenant. The other side might know right away because it's just so amazing looking, but fantastic looking model. Alright, so let's take a minute to take a look at the last model type that's in the Tohaa Trident Starter Pack. This is Special Regiment. I do not believe this is Spec Ops, like the type of unit that you can create and customize through a Paradiso campaign. Just a particular Tohaa type of unit. Arms are attached. Head You're seeing the side view of the head, because I wanted to kind of show the spikes coming out the back of the helmet. And yeah, again, fantastic looking model. I'm really curious to see the stat line on this guy, to see how he's going to play out in the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick exclusive sneak peek at some of the Tohaa units. Have a good one.